On the miraculous. Opium can release the most wretched from life's worst agonies. The 19th century physician, Horace Day, mentions opium when describing the ghastly post-Civil War American countryside. Amid all that suffering, this plant sap could offer refuge to displaced, half-dead people. Maimed and shattered survivors from 100 battlefields, diseased and disabled soldiers released from hostile prisons, anguished and hopeless wives and mothers, made so by the slaughter of those who were dearest to them, have found, many of them, temporary relief from their sufferings in opium. A love affair with opium cannot be taken lightly. The same poppy that can take its lovers to the gates of paradise has the power to send its slaves to a hell on earth, should they ever try to leave her. Today, the word yen means a kind of longing or desire, but its origin, from the Chinese yen yen, describes something more desperate, the torture of opium withdrawal. To yen for opium is to feel an intense lack of everything, of sanity, soul, and body, but mostly of opium. Yen conjures up the image of a contorted, sweat-soaked figure writhing on rumpled bed sheets. Addicts kicking opium have described feeling as if their nerves were afire, 1,000 needles popping through the skin. The body becomes a bloodless slab of pain. Sleep is plagued with Baroque nightmares, and wakefulness feels worse. Muscles contract, so arms and legs jerk and kick without warning. This last feature of yen has given us the expression kicking. Worse, there is a definite and palpable emotional aspect of the suffering. Just as its presence is so often equated with being in love, its absence creates a void in the heart of the withdrawing user that is similar to a broken heart. It's like having the worst case of the flu, says a friend of mine, and getting brutally dumped by your girlfriend at the same time. Opium addiction, an honest disclaimer. It is not I who become addicted, it is my body. Jean Cocteau, Opium. If an addict who has been completely cured starts smoking again, he no longer experiences the discomfort of his first addiction. There exists, therefore, outside alkaloids and habit, a sense for opium, an intangible habit which lives on, despite the recasting of the organism. The dead drug leaves a ghost behind. At certain hours, it haunts the house. Jean Cocteau, Opium. Physical dependence on opium is a virtual certainty with prolonged and sustained use. There may be a psychological dependence to opium, but that bears no relationship to the drug per se and has more to do with the user's personality than anything else. The chances of psychological addiction to opium are no greater than with alcohol or marijuana. Psychological problems are beyond the scope of this book. You know if you've got a problem with shopping, compulsive lying, or substance abuse. This book is about opium and its children, so its physical addiction must be addressed. But addiction has become a term so freighted with social and political connotations that it is almost irresponsible to use the term in a book like this. Physical dependence will be the result of opium use sooner or later, but it doesn't necessarily develop quickly, nor must it last forever. Opium withdrawal hurts, but the pain, including the intense, broken-hearted feeling of loss, will end within a week to 10 days. That's how long the body needs to get shocked back into producing the chemicals replaced with constant opium use. Those are indeed hard days for the kicking addict, but it is no worse than a nasty and prolonged flu. And like the flu, once the pain goes, it's over. The user feels no more physical craving for the drug. The psychological aspect of addiction might impose itself, and it could be at least several months before an ex-user feels himself again. This is even true of heroin, as William Burroughs says in his candid novel autobiography, Junkie. Burroughs says that once a junkie is kicked, it is easy to stay away from junk. This said, it should be noted that Burroughs was a lifelong heroin addict. So it is with opium, from which heroin is derived. Relapse is another phenomenon loaded with social connotations. For many people, life is simply better with opium than without it. That they should seek it is hardly surprising. Addiction to caffeine, for instance, has all the same features of opium addiction. Dependence develops, withdrawal hurts, and then you get used to life without coffee.